All right, here we go with another round of reacting to videos. Let's see what you guys have sent in. Here we go with Ladder Boy. This is not gonna go well. Ay, ooh. Yeah, I mean, like, regardless of the fact that he's using a ladder, there's just too much weight up there to expect there not to be a recoil. Oh yeah, it peels too. Eesh. Again, I'm so anti-ladder, but that would have happened to him even if he would have been just in the tree.
There it is.
Oh my. Yeah, so I mean, that's a huge top to try to lower out even with a portal wrap. It doesn't do it justice when you see these videos, because when you're on site and you can physically be next to a piece that size, that's when you have an understanding of how much weight is really coming out of there. But I mean, it looks like the ground man just didn't have his grip on the rope well enough, or he wasn't ready or something, because it just started feeding right through and he wasn't able to control it. But that's a heavy piece. I can tell that's heavy, but oh yeah, that's it. That's just like rope burn waiting to just destroy your hands even with gloves on. Oh. Again, so that's, these guys are assuming that the weight of the ground man is more than the weight of the top that's coming off the tree. He doesn't even have it even wrapped for friction around the base of another tree or through the portal wrap. So they're basically hoping that this guy is going to be able to hold the weight of this top coming out of the tree, which is literally impossible. So hence why he goes for a ride. Oh, I already have a really bad feeling about this one. They don't have any cones. Oh, okay, I see cones over there. They have a little tiny area coned off. They don't have anybody directing traffic whatsoever. And they almost kill somebody. To have the cars just driving by like that and not have anybody directing traffic is just probably one of the worst operations I've ever seen. That's terrible. Oh. Yeah, so clearly this man did not even notch the tree. There can't be a notch in there whatsoever, so it looks like he just straight up back cuts that massive branch, and it's already when there's weight curled over like that, even with a notch, if your saw's not powerful enough to cut through quick enough, you're gonna have the potential for a peel like that. But man, that is so bad. Oh yeah, so right now his buck line is just literally has him strangled right up against the tree, and he's got to get his wits about him and just cut that off as quick as he can. Oh, yeah, that is bad. But I wish I could see the other side, but it doesn't look like there's a notch on there, but yeah, that's bad. All right, so they've got the crane hooked to the top, and he left his lifeline in the top. So I don't know how you can forget that the rope that's holding you up in the tree is attached to the piece that the guy's going to be pulling out with the crane. I mean, that is just, the guy must have been out drinking the night before or something like that, or I mean, he's just like getting sick of his job, or it's getting redundant, because that's a big mistake. But I mean, he's gonna be okay because he's roped into the top anyway. So at this point, he could just rappel down, or he could just have the guy on the crane just set him down. But what would he have done if he would have been just free felling a top? He would have sent the top down and his lifeline would have been in the top and he would have gone flying with the top. Yeah. So right off the bat, you can tell that there's gonna be the most vicious recoil ever, because the top is already on a 45 and you can see that the piece that he's in is kinked the whole way back. So the top coming is pushing on that stem, And by the time it lets go, you're just gonna get like such a massive launch. And again, like this guy's in a ladder. So I mean, as soon as I see a ladder, I know that something's gonna go wrong. This guy's really lucky. That's, yeah, sometimes, and you know, he's not even past the halfway mark of the tree. Kind of rule of thumb when you're popping off a top too as well is you want to be at least past the halfway mark. And it's just too much tree above there to not expect that all that weight, once it starts coming, is gonna send you and the piece that you're in back a little bit. It's hard to watch these. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I feel horrible for these people because they're okay, obviously. Like, he's okay and he's gonna live. I mean, but this could have ripped his head right off and this guy could be dead right now. And it's just, when there's that much pressure and there's that much tension and you're just standing there and you're watching it go and you're just kind of holding the saw and you're not even getting out of the way. You know, as soon as this thing starts to come, you just get the hell out of there. But people, it's almost like they get hypnotized. They're mesmerized by the fact that they think that it's gonna work. And then, but yeah, this guy's lucky, man. Here's another wicked peel. Still looks like he doesn't have a notch. So a person like this, like, so he's got equipment. He's got spurs on, he's wearing a helmet, he's got a harness, he's got a climbing saw. So he must have some kind of knowledge about tree climbing. And literally just doing a back cut on a top. Like, I just don't get, again, another way too big of a top. Right on the house. So if you want to talk about cutting corners, like, that's just absolutely lazy, because that top is just so big. You might as well just cut the whole tree from the bottom and fell it right on the house. Where was it gonna go anyway? There's power lines right on the other side. So I mean, like, this tree would have needed to have been climbed, like, at least, it looks like he went up and took some branches off and then he came back down. But I mean, if you're going up that high anyway to take the branches off, just take a smaller top off, lower it out. But this is crazy. Boom. Wow. These videos never cease to amaze, man. It's like, I can't believe that stuff like this is happening in the world, that people are taking these chances and working this bad. Ugh. So yeah, whoever the ground man was there did not let that top ride whatsoever. Like, the ground man is so important when you're gonna just trust that he's got that rope in his hands and that he's got to let that top ride smooth. There's got to be kind of like the perfect world of, yes, okay, he's got the rope and he's hanging on to the top, but he's got to let that ride out smoother, because that just was held, it caught, and then the climber ends up taking all that recoil. And I mean, he just got ragdolled. Like, that was brutal. Oh no. Is that supposed to happen? She says. Oy, oy, oy. Is that supposed to happen? I don't know. It's another one of these moments that, like, I don't want to be mean, and I don't want to sound like I'm a know-it-all or anything like that, but some of these videos are just so hard to watch. Like, this guy just wrenching on this saw, and then he doesn't even let go of the saw. He has no respect for what happens if that piece falls and hits him in the head or anything. Just another massive top again. I told you that was gonna happen, he says. Yeah, because you didn't go high enough, buddy, and your top is way too big, and your recoil is going to almost kill you. See, you can tell that the guy has already gone up and he's done all the work. He went up to as high as he needed to be to take off like maybe like a 15-foot top, and then that would have never happened, and then you section down the wood. But why are these people trying to take such massive tops off? Yeah, so this tree is completely hollow. There's like maybe 2 inches or 3 inches of living wood the whole way around. So even if these guys notched it completely the other way, there's nothing that says that just that little piece of wood on one side and the little piece of wood on the other side is gonna hold. So it might not necessarily be these guys' fault, but maybe don't park the truck right there. So again, this for sure, the pole saw is not strong enough to cut through for that top to just like ride down out of the way. So it's gonna stay attached, the top's gonna roll down, and it's gonna smoke the guy right off the ladder. Those pole saws, those extendable saws, they're not powerful enough to expect that you can just cut right through a branch and it'll go flying away from your ladder. So always expect the wood to hang on and that thing to come down. Ugh. Oh man. Yeah, like these are the types of videos that you don't watch before you go to work. And the other guy just holding the ladder, expecting, yeah, it's rough. All right, well, some of those were really hard to watch. Thanks again for sending those in, and thank you guys for all the support. And make sure to check the rest of the channel out. We'll see you guys on the next one.